Good morning. Welcome to FYI. For your information, I am Joretta Finance joining you this wonderful Friday morning, guys. It's Friday the 5th of August, 2022. I always say TGIF. I'm always happy when Friday comes along. We have so much to do. Our work week is tremendously packed. So whenever we get to Friday, we say thank God because at least we should get a little bit of relaxation during the weekend. Let me know how your week went. Did you get a lot of things covered? If I'm to say I had a bad week, I'll be lying. I had a super productive week. I got tons of stuff done. So I hope it's been the same for you. And we're at the beginning of the month of August, first week through. And here we go. I see someone wrote online that August just come through just like that. No manners, no good morning, how are you, or anything. Can't believe it's August. Well, we're at the 5th of August, guys. So it's a lot to get done. It's my mother's birth month, actually. So a lot to get done for me in this month, making sure that my mother have a happy birthday is one of the things on my list to do. How are you doing in the comment section there? I see Dawn and John Jones. I see Lynette Jacobs. Guys, how are you doing this morning? Let me know what is going on at your end. As soon as you get on, you know what you got to do. Dawn, cook. Dawn, you're early. I'm not going to lie. You are super early this morning. How are things on the west side? As you say, the west side is the best side. Hi, I see Fire Lion is on this morning. Says good morning, beautiful Guyana. Absolutely beautiful country indeed. Guyana is such a beautiful country. That's why we got to make sure that we got to continue to fight to ensure that the people of Guyana, the Guyanese, are actually taken care of just as well as the country is beautiful. Guys, I see Shelly, the writer, on this morning, and Empress Fatima Flavors. How are you this morning? Let me know what's going on at your end. It has been quite an interesting week to say the least. The last 24 hours. I don't know about you, but social media is so up and about, like you can't miss anything. Social media is so up and about, you can't miss it. But you're off for 2 hours and you seem to be missing out on every single thing. I see I'm getting tea pushed in. You see, when you're well taken care of at this end, you can't complain, people. You can't complain. I'm getting my tea sent to me this morning, so I have to say thank you. Let me know what's going on at your end. We're having some tea bag. That's what cost of living on this end. Not really good. So you know what's up. Alec Boom, good morning to you. Where is Sherrod? Why I always ask these questions? Where is Sherrod and so forth? I don't know. Sherrod's a big man. I don't keep tabs. I don't keep tabs at all. Hey Dion David, how are you this morning? Let me know what's going on at your end. I see Loretta. Loretta, that name is so close to mine. Loretta. My aunt actually names I have an aunt on my father's side. Her name is Loretta. So wonderful name. I see Clifton Smith. Clifton said I am good. Had a great week. Wish the best for you and your family. Amen. Amen, Clifton. I wish you all the best. I'm happy that you had a good week. Dawn Baines says respect and manners. Same to you, Dawn. I see Aubrey Lennox says, good morning, FYI family. And you know what you got to do when you join this family early in the morning? When you come to this family meeting, we have an 8 o'clock family meeting every morning, FYI family in the house. All the discussions that you need to have is done right here. The first thing we say, share the stream, make sure that everyone gets a bit of the information that you yourself will be enjoying this morning. Rock and come in. I see that comment. Stephen Collins, good morning to you, Stephen. Stephen says, good morning, FYI family from Long Island. So there we have one of the Long Island persons already in the house, family members coming through. Ingrid King, good morning to you, Ingrid. How are you this morning? Let me know what's going on at your neck of the woods. Rachel Wolford, good morning to you, Rachel. Rachel says, thanks for the update. Thank you so much for being here, Rachel. Thank you all for being here to add to the conversation. It's nothing for us to be here if we're talking to ourselves. So you make this program what it is, and we thank you so much for that. And I have to say, continue to share, make sure that everyone gets a bit of the credible information. I see, is it Edward Brooms on this morning? Edward said, good morning, watching. I'd see it's that Patricia Graves Zandy Goodman. Good morning to you, Patricia. How are you doing? What's going on at your end? Guys, let me know. I know a lot of folks here join from either YouTube or Facebook and so forth. We have so many social media platforms up and running. If you know that you yourself have a social media page that you're trying to get traction to, so drop it in the comment section from time to time. Let us see, let us be checking up on you and the work that you've been doing at your end. Very, very interesting the amount of things that are on social media right about now. Is either you use it for good, use it for business, you tap into that market, which is a huge market, almost limitless. And it's either you do that or you get sucked into all the propaganda, or you get sucked into so many other nonsense. We try our best to utilize it at our end to make sure that we share credible information. That's what we do, and we are hoping that you do the same as well. Lynn Franz, hey Lynn, happy Friday, my FYI family. Best be safe. I see Lynn is over there. Lynn, what's going on at your end? How is the family, Lynn? Lynn has an awesome family. I don't know the Lynn finance. The finance is close to my heart there, so we may have to check out on this bloodline and see what's going on. Derek Smith, good morning to you, Derek. How are you this morning? I see Morel King in the house. How are you doing? Is it is it Isola Allen? I don't know. I hope I call that right. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, my dear. Marlon the Young, how are you? Um, it's well, Marlon is on screen. The Young says Alo, Sherrod, and Juretta, children of Guyana soil. Sherrod is in the background there, feeling all good about these comments there. Everyone that is checking up on him. Glad so much. Marlon Thomas. Hey, Marlon, how are you doing? Marlon Thomas is always out and about. Marlon knows what she has to get done, and she does it with such grace. Guys, let me know what's going on at your end. What is happening in your community? I'm going to make this community call this morning to make sure that you tell us what is going on in your community. It's absolutely necessary that we are able to tap in with whatever challenges that you have and make representation on your behalf. That is our purpose. Make sure that you do not shy away from letting us know the difficulties that you're encountering at your end. Very, very important for us. I see Mary Alert. I see you there, Mary. I hope all is well at your end. And Carl Fordyce, you're in the house, says good morning to his FYI family. Erica Hooper, what's going on with you, Erica? I hope all is well at your end. Let me know where you're joining from. I want to do a spot check this morning in terms of location. So guys, if you haven't yet, just drop in the comment section where you're joining from. I want to update our map to see if we are reaching new areas that we haven't yet touched previously when we did some spot check. So let us know where you're joining from, specifically persons joining from within Guyana. Let us know which region you're joining from, which area in specific. Let me know what's going on. Ayoba is there watching from the north of England. I see Maureen Coppins Williams, Maureen Defar, Maureen's in Long Island. Glenn is joining us from Queens. Let me know what's going on. I'm looking specifically. I want to see if there are folks joining us from Region 9 and so forth. If you're on and you're joining from Region 9, Region 8, let me know in the comment section. I see Lola is joining from Amelia Ward and Linden. Diamond is in the house with Pinky Carr. Paulette Hicks is joining us this morning also. I see Jersey in the house. I see Barbados. Well, Linden again. Linden folks, you coming through. I see Barbuda. Well, Antigua and Barbuda is in the house this morning. Absolutely lovely to have you here, Blueberry Hill. Canada, thank you all for joining us this morning. And I see quite a few folks joining us from Linden at Parfait Harmony. Absolutely great for you to join from Parfait Harmony. I see Suriname in the house this morning. Absolutely amazing to have you join us here. What is going on? Are you Guyanese living in Suriname? How long have you gone over there? I'm trying to mind your business. Caribbean in the house, Trinidad in the house, Barbados in the house, someone is watching from Diamond, Agricola, Region 4. I know the folks in Region 4, Suzette, Washington, and all you others that's joining us this morning. We thank you so much for coming through. Make sure that you share the stream. Keith Evans, good morning to you. Keith, what is going on at your end? Watching from Maryland. Albany NY is in the house this morning, and I see Sharon Anthony is actually watching from Long Island also, and Marva Gomes is joining from the west side. I didn't know Marva was from the west side, so that's a bit of good information for me this morning. Amelia's Ward, quite a lot of folks joining from Amelia's Ward, make me want to come over there and actually keep a little bottom house meeting. I think I need to come in Amelia's Ward at this rate. FYI, bottom house meeting in Amelia's Ward sounds good, doesn't it? Let us know if you need us in your area. We're going to do our best to come through. Oren Mark Christopher Singh, good morning to you, sir. Where are you joining us from? I see Port Kaituma, Ricardo Turn is in the house. Absolutely wonderful to have you join us this morning. And folks, I always have a little bit of bias when I see folks coming in from Region 1, Region 8, Region 9, and so forth, because you would not understand if you have not been to those areas. You would not understand the difficulty there is at so many times to actually have good internet connectivity to join programs as such, especially when you have to stream videos in a lot of these outlying areas. So when I see folks coming through, I am so happy that they can join. So all the folks joining from Port Kaituma, anywhere in Region 9, folks are joining from. Absolutely amazing to have you join. I see Joel Bentic from the Bronx is in the house. I have another from the Bronx person here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. You have company. I see you, Aaron, joining us from New York. Montserrat in the house this morning. Carwin McRae is in the house joining us from Montserrat. And I see Carl Fordyce is dropping the TNT flag there. And since he's joining from Trinidad and Tobago. And I know for folks, Carl is one of our dedicated listeners. He's one of those FYI family members. Got to come to the front of the room. Take front seat. Orlando Small is joining us from Chicago. I see Liverpool Village is in the house here this morning also. Janet is joining from Brooklyn. I'm still not seeing anyone from Region 9. Folks, if you know anyone in Region 9, tag them or share the stream to them to make sure that they can come in. We have so much that we have to discuss, and it's absolutely necessary that the persons living in the outlying communities are able to get the information just as you are getting it. I see Carol Rollins there joining us from Manhattan this morning, and also Osman Hodge. I see, well, Osman, this is making the third person joining from the Bronx. Is absolutely great to have you all join us this morning. Let me know what is up. It is necessary for us to keep going through what is happening at your end. Atlanta, Georgia is in the house also, and I'm seeing Region 2, North Carolina, born Guyanese Region 2. However, joining us this morning from North Carolina is Rhoda. So lovely of you to join us. Rhoda, make sure that you share the stream to all of your relatives and so forth in Region number 2. I see Elizabeth in the Rhine. Hey, Elizabeth, that joins us from New York. How are you doing? Let me know. Troy Bruce, I see. You see, I just called the name and Sharon telling me where y'all joining from, you know? I see Maureen Coppins Williams is saying happy birthday to someone. I'm not sure whose birthday. Happy birthday, Carol. Okay. So Match Dennison is there saying happy birthday, Carol. So we have a family member with a birthday this morning. Carol seems to be having her birthday today. Carol, happy birthday to you. It's a great month to be born in. And I think that we, as the FYI family, want to wish you a tremendously splendid birthday today. Make sure that you do your best, enjoy yourself, be safe, whatever it is that you're doing, and make sure that you are surrounded with love and laughter on this your special day. Carol, hey, Carlos Malcolm, I see in the house also this morning. Always love your energy. Thank you so much. You know, and there's one thing about me. I think I annoy some people a little bit because I'm always so lively, and I'm always so up in spirit. Some people don't like that, you know. So I think you upset some people when you're up in spirit all the time. I don't know why, but I can't help it. I see Don Coker saying happy birthday, Carol. Also, Judah David in the house. You know, Judah David, Bartition. You know, oh man, that's what it is. happy to have you here, Judith. And persons that know Bartica would know that we have the hell of an issue and worries to get good internet connectivity. Sometimes I feel like we're the forgotten lot. It's so terrible. Guys, what is going on in region in number 3? I see all the folks joining from region number 3. Let us know what is going on. Yes, very true, Maureen. I know some people don't like when you're more happy than them. Garfield is joining us this morning. Garfield Ross is joining from New York. And I see Deborah. Hey, Deborah, what is going on at your end? And I see Morna Stoby again joining us from Port Kaituma. So we have two persons thus far this morning that's joining from Port Kaituma. And you know how that warms my heart. Steam Okro is watching. Listen, guys, you need to do better by these names. Steam Okro. I don't know. And this is some Kryler or something coming through. We can't get Steve Okro dominating the scene this morning. Anna Gordon, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? I see Penelope Howard there also. I think Anna is saying somebody block her. Well, we don't block over here, so you can come through. I see Leon Garbadan is out and about very early this morning, and Iona, and I see Yvonne rather. Yvonne Ramasar, good morning to you, Yvonne. How are you doing this morning? Let me know. Guys, it has been so wonderful to interact with you and all the folks, all of you that I got an opportunity to reach in person there at the rally. It was such an amazing feeling to put a face to the name. I'm here calling out the names, and so often you don't have a face to go with it, I see Bounty. Bounty saying steam okra is very tasty. I know some people would beg to disagree. So, where is Sherrod? Sherrod is a big man. Y'all call Sherrod, you understand? Y'all call Sherrod and ask, where is Sherrod? Why is he late and so forth? It's not my fault, right? Good. I pulling myself out. Even if it is my fault, I'm going to say it's not my fault. But we have a lot to be talking about. Dwight and everyone else that's joining us this morning, I hope you've done your part very, very early and shared the live stream. Make sure that you do that right now. As Sherrod would say, make the emojis look good. Make those reactions up your game with the reactions this morning, so that we can get into the discussion. Sometimes I see Dawn said you all need to start blocking these disrespectful. We're just gonna leave persons there. I know what you're saying, but like I said, I'm purposefully not going to engage or not going to comment on anyone that gives any comments around that nature. And if you guys start ignoring them also, they will just disappear. I see Samantha Diali. Hey Samantha, how are you this morning? And Sharon Alfonso Evans, Bounty Jules, and is it I am not seeing that name clearly, it just went by so fast. Nevertheless, guys, do your part. Share the stream as we get into this morning's discussion. Absolutely necessary that we carry on and see what is going on. So as we prepare to welcome my co-host on, I'm going to give you another opportunity to share the stream. I see Paula Mattis is in the house. Don't think I'm missing you this morning, Paula. And is it Fire Lion? I'm not sure if I say this right. I think Sherrod corrected me once, but this is how I have it. Mr. Duncan is okay. So Mr. Duncan, Penelope Howard is saying, where Sherrod Duncan held the bell in his chest when he get there. Oh my goodness. Paul Kush, I see you there. Where is Sue? Paul, listen, I think that this needs to be a high-level investigation from an external agency that absolutely need to go there and see where Sue is and what he is doing, because everyone would know ever since that bit of Vice News piece came out. I think it was since February. No one has seen Sue since then, but to my knowledge, I'm not sure if anyone else actually had interaction with him thereafter. But this is a very serious matter. It's very, very serious allegations that he made, and I think it's absolutely necessary that he be found and give some clarity to all that he said. which we don't need clarity. We know exactly what's going on. Hetty Joseph, good morning to you. Joining us from YouTube. Our YouTube family is about to give our Facebook viewership a run for the money. I'm not even joking. YouTube platform has been growing tremendously, and I have to say we are highly appreciative of every single last one of you that joined through YouTube. You have been doing an extremely well job. The persons that joined from LinkedIn also make sure that you share on that platform. There's a lot of people that join through all of those avenues. And guys, make sure that you go and join our pages. You know, there's Sherry Duncan. Sherry Duncan has a platform when it comes to Instagram. He has a platform when it comes to TikTok and all of those. Make sure that you go to those platforms and you like and you share and all of that. No, don't worry. I don't. I really don't utilize social media as much as I should, if I can put it over. And that way, I need to utilize my social media platform. I'm a little old school, old fashioned, and all of that. If I can say that much.
Morning, guys. Judith is a talker.
I don't know.
She's a TikToker.
I think I have like 4 posts on TikTok, if that much.
She's usually there minding people business.
That's what I do. I seek information, if I can put it over like that.
Oh, you rather that kind of.
I am there seeking information. I hunt information. So because of that, I have a page on every single platform. I have an account on every platform, but I'm not necessarily there speaking and so forth. I'm posting and all of those things. Like Twitter, I probably post on Twitter like 2 times. I'm not sure.
You got up that.
Yeah, I need to.
As a new social media influencer and public figure and parliamentarian, and all that, we got to up that game a little bit.
Today's Carol's birthday, Sharon. You can't be.
Which Carol? We got like 5.
Well, I am not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie to you to tell you I'm not too sure. Guys, which Carol's birthday?
We know it's a Carol.
Sharon knows several Carol. You know me.
We know it's a Carol. Morning, Carol. Morning, happy birthday. It is my son's birthday as well, Jean-Pierre.
My goodness.
Yeah, he turns 14 today. When
we
did
get
that
to
happen?
know. We get to know.
We big, folks. We big.
You know my daughter's on her way. My daughter's going to be 17 in December, and I look at myself and I have a 17.
Where is that? Where's the 17?
Like, where did this happen? Like, how did that happen? Carol Rollins.
Yeah.
So that's the Carol.
Oh, Carol Rollins. Yes. Primo Rollins. Where's the Primo? Where's the Primo? You come for fool me now. You lash off the Primo. All right. Sorry for you.
Sorry for him.
Sorry for you. Folks, good morning. Happy birthday, Carol. I want to say happy birthday. My son to Jean-Pierre. 14 today. Yeah.
We get
been a good 14 year.
We get to know each other.
Been a good 14 years. Yep.
Don't worry, we're doing all good things in our little assessment. Hopefully you're thinking the same.
I hungry bad this morning, can I? Hungry bad. So I can drink a little tea before,
You're gonna drink it out.
Yeah. Hungry real bad this morning. It's that kind of morning. How you guys are doing? How is the morning after the night before? Good to have you folks. Should you open your eyes and share morning after? I don't know why. Why should your eyes like that? I don't morning after. No. Open her eyes so big. So, Twitter, where are we? We're in the morning papers?
We're about to go into the morning papers.
I'm a foot and short.
Your foot is not short. We're just there waiting on you. Yep. And the first thing we want to look at in the morning papers.
People.
All right. It's dozens of fish are said to be affected by dredging of the Merari mouth. And we did say the administration did made the announcement that they're going to go and dredge the Merari mouth there. But you know how they operate. They just go and do things haphazardly. So now the report is coming out and it said that dozens of fishers are actually going to be affected. And we know, and I have to say this, that since the PVP administration came into office, the fisher folk has been having tremendous hardship from one thing to the next.
Exxon
but what is interesting is that they consistently tell these people that it's not their fault. Nothing that is happening to them is their fault. However, then they go out in that same breath and they go out and try to give cash handouts to them because they know specifically that they have been operating in such a manner that is going to be affecting
the PVP lies. The PVP lies. They lie. The people lies. Yes.
Yeah, but
They lie.
the report says, and
Honestly.
I just want to read
Honestly.
the top of it. It says,
Yeah.
contrary to what the developers of the Vreden Hoop shore base have asserted,
Mhm.
fishermen on Tuesday and Wednesday told Fabric News that their fish pens have been fouled by mud and refuse thrown up by the dredging of the Demerara River mouth. And you know that they were told, and this is the point, when with the whole Saturn and all of that, in that whole process, they were told that it's not going to affect them. But the fish folk is saying that,
Yeah.
that's not what's happening.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
fish.
there's not
Something.
it's
Nothing
not fishing
regular.
in the net anymore.
Nothing regular there. You know, I
the
saw.
net is different.
Was it Colin Crow who said the fish should be running in the nets? You don't understand what's happening. Right? Maybe if you stick to your housing portfolio, you might see yourself them kind of embarrassing thing. Fish are running in the nets, not out.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Our fishing.
But we have to be very keen. And these are all right. So we say consistently again that when it comes to the economic growth, when it comes to GDP and all of those things, we say we have to look at when you look at the sectors individually, you would understand that there is only the oil and gas, the revenues that are coming from that is what's basically pulling everything along. And if you were to look at the sectors, you would realize that it's failing. Every single other one. I don't understand what they've been doing, because you see ministers up and about.
And those that are failing outright, they're propping up. Like you're buying out all the cement, you're buying out all the steel. You know, you're propping up.
Buying how much?
You think
Buying what people don't have.
There's a boom in construction, but you buying all the steel and giving it. You buying all the cars and giving it. There's a boom.
Correct. You know,
it's a bubble.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
We say we ask persons to continue to be careful. We see three laborers die in a horrific crash.
Horrific. I see was swerving from something on the road. Right?
I looked at
and the vehicle wheel hit something, and they were pinned. According to the Marways where I saw it first, said the 3 guys were pinned. You know, 3 persons lose their life like that. Folks, we see it all the time. Says absolute carnage, and I wish the government could do more. You know, the policemen on the road in the wrong places,
Yep.
In the wrong places, right? Making a hustle, you know, not all of them, got some decent guys in the police force, but some of them in the wrong places that they shouldn't be, you know, and where they absolutely needed. You're not seeing them. You know, it's quite a tragedy. Swerve from something, and then exactly probably why you're trying to avoid. And it happened because these 3 persons are pinned. It's quite strange.
The whole thing is, I keep telling people, you have to make sure that you are driving at a speed that you can actually have control of the vehicle.
Which is what our thought was the other day. We were going up the East Coast and saw this 18-wheeler on the median. You know, half of the 18-wheeler on one side and half on the other side.
Like how?
How? I could just put it down to fall asleep. You know,
but that's another thing.
As driver fall asleep, and that is one of the challenges we don't have. We don't have that system where you're mandated by legislation or otherwise that drivers need to act a certain way. But common sense too, and experience could tell you can't be driving 24 hours straight and expect to be vigilant and alert and all of that. I had the privilege of going from New York to South Carolina by bus for 12 hours, state by state, and it's amazing to see those drivers change shift every 4 hours or so, right? Change shift. You stop, you pull in some place, look like an apartment building, you see one driver come out, another gone in, and it's changing shift, they're changing shift. Because they understand you can't drive for 12 hours and stay alert as you have started the trip, and then you're driving through the night too.
But you understand why they do that.
Right.
And it all has to do with how it affects your pocket. And tell people, no matter what you put in place, unless you put things in place, it's going to hurt people's pocket. They're not going to.
You get sued 1 or 2 times.
Exactly. The US have a system.
Me or is 20 bags in this thing?
It's you. It's just one.
You sure?
I'm 100% positive. It actually loose off. You know, the tea bags are literally folded up.
Oh.
I don't know if you ever noticed.
Fancy man. This is definitely oversoaking this morning. So, I think I alert as it is. I don't know why I need 2 tea bags. But that being said, you know, talking about tea bags, Andrew Supermarket is opening up on the 12th of August in Rock Street, where the old well, I should say the old, where Nigel supermarket used to be. They've taken over. I want you to know what's carefully. They now inhabit that building there.
That's
Um,
Andrew Supermarket.
Andrew
That's what it is.
Supermarket. Have a beautiful establishment in South, very popular in South Rambell. They're now going to be in Rock Street. They have another branch opening up there in Rock Street. And if the service is anything, the service in service in Rock Street is anything like service in South, it's going to be good for the city.
Oh,
Them
wow.
expanding there. So
Nice.
we invite you guys to keep that on your calendar. I don't know where else you guys shop on that side of the city, that area there in the city now. But Andrew Supermarket is moving into that building there. That's the right way to say it.
Yeah.
Andrew Supermarket is moving into that building there on Rock Street where Nigel Supermarket used to be. And we invite you guys on the 12th. On the 12th, they're going to be opening the doors. I think we're going to go down there to see what's happening. I fast. I can't lie. I fast. I see what's the people should when neighbors cheers, especially getting out. I fast. So I remember we going down there and see what's happening.
Yes, and again, I have to say the same thing that I said when I spoke about the Pegasus and that new building there. I said I love to see when Guyanese businessmen are actually doing good and getting work done. So this is absolutely amazing to see Guyanese again.
And that's why we always
forward.
say, well, you know, the private sector got some good people in it, some good, but they got some scamps and some scallywags too.
Don't do it on the backs of everybody.
Yeah. Julie, sorry to interrupt you there, but Andrew Supermarket opening on the 12th, Rock Street.
Yeah. So you can get all your tea bags there. Double tea bag and so forth.
Double soaker.
Yeah, but be careful on the roadways, make sure that we have a long way to go.
Judy, sorry. Interrupt you again. People will see we have a Hamilton Beach percolator thing at the back here. But we're trying to get some filters for it for the longest. You buy fancy thing in your house. We don't want decoration. Everything in our kitchen is functional. And we love to get some. It use a.
I couldn't find it.
What do you call it? It's a filter. It's like a big tea bag. Like a big tea bag. A big tea bag. And we're trying to get that for this thing to be able to use it effectively. We want things just for decoration. Some house you got everything in a plastic wrap up the carpet in a plastic, the chair in a plastic, the vase in a plastic. And no. We functional around this side. Right, we functional.
Commissioner Cole says I support Andrew Supermarket. Stable prices.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
If there's a supermarket with stable prices, I'm telling you I'm going to be there. Because with this inflation, it's amazing to see folks actually going there and having a supermarket that have stable prices.
We like those guys. We like this. It's some good young people who push in the body. We say they push in the body, and I think we are going to support them. We usually support them buying stuff here and so on.
Yes.
For our kitchen and so on. We advise you guys.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, sorry.
So, as we continue in morning papers, sorry, short segue. I'm very sad again. I'm very sad with some laborer 18 stabbed to death in Kumako, and this is something that I'm going to read. Exactly. I want to say that we lose too many lives to crime. When it comes to domestic violence, that's one. But then persons, these row and bicker and fight and all of these things. We have less than 1 million people. I don't know how else to keep reminding you that we need to preserve lives. And instead of losing lives in these reckless ways, 18-year-old a Northwest laborer was murdered on Wednesday by two persons who beat and stabbed him.
Yeah.
This, according to police, 2 males are in custody in connection with the stabbing death of Jude Cristiano of Kamaka Riverfront, Mabaruma, Northwest District.
Yeah. Life is too cheap. Life has become too cheap in this country. Too cheap. And you know what? We got to bring back the death penalty and hanging and so on. Right? All this human rights stuff with, we got to bring it back a little bit. Life is too cheap. I've been upset, but I don't think I've ever gotten to the point where I think I want to inflict physical injury on anybody. Honestly, I've been very upset lots of times in these, with what? It's 4 scores or 3 scores? In the score, these many scores later. But you got to get some discipline and self-control about yourself. And this thing here, life has become too cheap. And when I see them in the court and the crying and so on, it's just look at them sideways. Because you see when you're with friends and so on.
Yes.
You see that hard mentality. When you're by yourself, it's 2 different things.
Especially when persons are drinking.
2 different things.
Especially when persons are drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but we need
Well,
to get a place. Like I think I want. No,
and
listen.
apparently
Let
some
me
other
save. Let
like
me
some
save these for a
like,
little
like
later
some
in
other
this
people is wait
program.
until you're drinking too. We'll be coming to that just now.
Yeah, we're gonna come to that. We're gonna come to that because oh, crazy. Like
Very much so. Very much so. Go
let's
ahead, Rita.
let's move into morning brew.
Morning, bro. All
Let's
right.
go straight
What's
over.
brewing, folks? What's brewing? What's brewing? Oh, this is a story and a half. Share the damn live, smash the emoji button, and partner with we. Please and thank you. This one here had me a little bit, Julia, because listen to me. When you think you got things rough,
Yeah.
when you think you got things rough, and you hear some other people's story, you realize you're nothing wrong with you, really, Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And most of the times, when we stay isolated, Julia,
Mm-hmm.
you think the world is on your shoulder and it's only you carrying this cross, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look around and you read some other people's stories and you engage some other people's stories, you realize the cross you're carrying is a little one,
Yep.
is a little cross, right? When you like marriages are so difficult and try to come in slowly, edging up, you know,
What I am?
edging up. Yes,
Well,
yes, you are
something.
edging up. Carry your kicking and screaming to the altar.
I don't know. Someone
You are edging up. I'm saying that. I overrule you. So, and you always think, you know, as married folks or generation, that, you know, you're going through some trials. But when you hear some people's story, you know, you're thankful for your lot in life. You know, you don't want to be there, but you're thankful we're not where all some other folks are. And this other story that we stumbled on was quite touching in our impression. I'm picking this up from in international news. Conjoined twins, born in Brazil with fused head and brain, they were recently separated. Right? They were recently separated. These conjoined twins. Now one faces in one direction, one in the other direction, and they look fairly big here. They look like about 3 or 4, could be 5 years old. Yeah. Could you imagine having to live your life like this? Could you imagine me being parents to children like this? The kind of care that is needed almost round the clock. And you know, you got your children, what have you, and you think you got so much to deal with. Now these are parents with a full plate. They recently had the twins recently were separated. I think this is a surgery performed in the US, and this is a better pic of how their health looked up close as the doctors were getting ready to do that surgery. And again, they are crediting modern technology with being able to scan and map the cranium, map the brain, and all of that before they did this surgery. Folks, it's fascinating what we can do now with technology. Of course, Ghana is the exception to all of the rules, right? It is fascinating what healthcare is like in some other countries. I hope we can get with all them billions and billions. It's not just about building buildings. That don't mean you're progressing. It's a human resource capacity that you're going to build. It's not just about building buildings, you know. But we're so happy to see, you know, this twin. They're going to be able, you know, God willing, to go on and live some very, very productive lives, because we want to show you guys the after. Fascinating what technology you're able to accomplish these days with technologies. And this is a picture of them after the surgery. And of course, they're getting some of the best medical care in the world. This is Bernardo and Arthur. That's the name of the twin. Fascinating what you can do with technology. And when you allow people to study and become the best that they can be, how much fake doctors and so on, right? When good doctors who have studied and spent their life, they have a passion for this kind of thing. Those people study all day long, you know, fascinated with the human anatomy. And they're able, after you apply yourself, and you know, you got governments and so on who forward thinking, who put up the funding for research and all of that. They're able to do stuff like this. Conjoined twins at the head and brain, you know, Rita. And doctors are able to separate them in this way, and God willing, they go on to live productive lives. And we want to say just respect and manners to the parents, you know, who brought them, you know, thus far, and what medical science did to take them even further. It's quite a time we're living in, folks. It is quite a time. And I wish, the politics is so rancid, I can't take it, you know. I'm like right there. That's how much more patience I have. I can't take it anymore. The politics is so rancid. We should be sitting down in this country together right? Big like that, and say, you know, Norton, Irfan, how we gonna move healthcare forward in this country? We can become the beacon in Caribbean, not building big buildings that we don't maintain and falling apart. You know, we showed in the ring last night, ITR Health Center in some parts of the country, Region 3, what's the name of the village? In Region 3, 25 miles off Perica. Try to remember the name of the place. But again, you build a building, they even finish the floor. Years now, the floor rough.
Yeah.
Right? People don't got proper chairs to sit on. It's not just about building buildings. Maintenance is an important part.
But then you're gonna hear the announcement that you're going to build more buildings.
Yeah, specialty,
So that's-
pediatric hospital, and so on and so forth.
I have an issue with that. I have an issue with anything that
Yeah.
pushes away from what the Granger administration actually was pushing to when it comes to decentralization of
Yeah.
so many the
Services.
specialty
Yeah.
services, and that's the truth. I see somebody just said Saxakali.
Saxakali.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Maureen. Saxakali, that's the name of the community
Yeah.
where the health center is. I mean, Judy, this is not Timbuktu. This is wrong the corner.
Yeah.
You understand me? Good roads, good transportation. You could be there in 20 minutes, really and truly.
Yeah.
25 minutes. It's not Timbuktu. And why can't we have good healthcare? But we believe because it's in Region 3 somewhere, at the back someplace, it must look anyhow, it must there anyhow. God, man.
People don't know
I'm fed
the
up.
benefit, and we talk about it, and that's why I am an advocate too for what David Granger was doing when he said he wanted to make sure that the regional hospitals are equipped to do so many things, especially when it comes to surgery and all of those things. And I remember, listen, you have to have the experience to understand where we were. Like when I got my daughter is 16 years old now. When I got my daughter, I in Bartica, you're literally in labor. You go to the hospital thinking that you're going heading for an actual delivery at the hospital. The hospital at the time was sending someone down, an emergency patient down to Georgetown. A little girl, she survived. I was so worried about her. Nevertheless, because they were sending a patient down, I was there. So they made the calculation that because they know they could not deal with any emergency, they're going to send me down with that person. I came down to Perica the night, coming on a boat in labor from Bartica to Perica in the rough water the night. Got to Perica. When it got to Perica, had to wait 2 hours on an ambulance that was supposed to be going from West Dem Hospital to Perica to pick us up. When the ambulance got there, the driver for the ambulance, his breath stinks of alcohol.
Wow.
Right?
Oh.
Then the driver had to take you down, and this is the experience. You have to live it to understand why we. And when I got my second child, I have 2 daughters. The persons who I got my second daughter right there, Bartica Hospital. The theater was fully operational, C-sections and so all being done and all of that. People came back into office, that was out, couldn't work. Lives. Lives are being affected.
Leadership is an action word. We got to do stuff. It's not, to excuse incompetence and mismanagement. Oh, we are SOPs, right? Foolishness, right? We all do plenty things.
Listen, people have to, you gotta know, children break their arms, legs.
Yeah.
When the X-ray not working, when they do get down, when they do get down to Georgia, whatever time after to actually check it, then the bone already starts to heal itself in the wrong position. Then the doctors here have to break it back in order to fix it. You don't know the horror people went through. So you have to understand. I come from a position of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to persons in the outlying communities and the hell that they go through when it comes to poor health care.
And
the Granger administration went in there and they sought to fix it. When we got in 2015, I'm giving this example for Region 7 because that's my home. That's where I was born and raised. That's where I spent all my life. 2015 got in 4 doctors at the Bartica Hospital. 4. When we left office in 2020, there was 20-something doctors at that hospital, specialists.
Yeah.
It's not, it's
Yeah.
mismanagement.
That's what leadership
Incompetence is
does.
what we
That's what
had on
leadership does.
the PP
And also,
administration.
I know part of what the last administration did was to put up these ICT hubs in far-flung communities. And one of the aim of that was helping with health concerns. Imagine having to walk for miles, to see a doctor because you're feeling sick, but when you could just go in a little booth someplace,
Yeah.
and talk to a doctor any part of the world. Them guys went in and shut down.
Yep.
Right? Closed down. Because why? You don't want people to have information. You want to serve the intellect and know the nonsense you are doing, and that there are more progressive ways of thinking and living than what these guys are offering. And it's not just that. It's not just that. Because, sadly to say, them boys can live with me for a long time, and we live with them for a long time. We got to sit down together. We got to sit down together, and we got to move this country forward. And you cannot get 49% of the electorate vote for you. You operate like it's 100. Even if it was 100, right? You have to be magnanimous to say, you know what? We live in this country with 6 people. How can we survive together and move forward? There's a lot of foolishness we're doing in this country, and we ain't getting better. Yeah. We're not getting better. Traveling and seeing the world, and you come back and you can't implement one goddamn thing. Y'all wicked, man. Just wicked. You're going to enjoy some big fancy hotels, the best healthcare overseas since y'all sneeze, and you come back and you don't want to transform this country. Y'all wicked.
Yeah. Right now, like I say again, River Ambulance, we never heard about that prior to 2015. Yeah. Grange administration came, and we're talking about healthcare. This is crazy. We're talking about healthcare at this national level. We have to make the comparison to how far we move as a country. The River Ambulance was put in place, working fully. As soon as PP took office, suddenly with River Ambulance can't work no more.
Yeah.
Why the River Ambulance
That's the
can't
kind
work?
of stupidness.
No, let me tell you why the River Ambulance can't work. Because the PPP friends that own speedboats need to get money and get work. Right?
Not the same thing with the school buses. You come here, you meet at school buses. You park all to come and buy new buses because you want to use the Granger bus. It's so stupid. It is so foolish. How can we progress like that? And it goes either way. If we come in and you got good programs, why not continue them? It's just so stupid. How long we gonna go forward like that? How long are we gonna move forward like that? And that is why people live overseas for 20 years and come back and say, oh, nothing can change, eh? How can change and we say stupid?
Yep.
God,
as
man.
We move along.
Good things are happening though. we are moving up. Good things are happening, and respect and manners to Natalie Cummins, who they say, I was saying round 16, but it may make a difference in sports. They say round of 16. That might be different from round 16.
Yeah, table tennis is a little different.
Well, they're telling us that no Guyanese has ever gotten this far at the Commonwealth Games, and Natalie Cummins would just break this glass ceiling for us at the Commonwealth Games. Interestingly enough, you may not know Natalie, but Natalie did economics too at university. She might have been a year or 2 year junior there, but Natalie did economics with Colin Constantine and those folks. So a pretty accomplished young lady. Could see her often. I am breakfast in the park. She's working out hard and so on. And you get the reward when you practice and you put in the effort. You get the reward. And we want to say congrats to Natalie Cummins, who has done our country well, and we hope she goes on and just win the damn thing. We need some good news in this country.
Special, my heartfelt congratulations when it comes to Natalie and all the work that she did, and we are so proud of where you are.
Very much so.
Flying the flag of Guyana very proudly there.
Very much so.
I have to say that again. I say that we consistently. I think that we have done an injustice when it comes to young men and women, and this is years come. We need to get to a point as a country. You have all the resources. You're talking about fastest growing economy now. We have to get to this point. We have the money now. We must get to the point in which we say that sports and athletes, that's their profession. Being an athlete is your profession, and that's what you pay to do it. Now you gotta go to your work, and after you come home from an 8-hour job, then you got to go and work out. And that's
again,
why
Rita, we gotta sit down.
We have to sit down,
and we gotta think this thing through. Charles Ramsey might be a decent person for folks who know him. I think he's a jagabat, but that's just my impression. But Charles Ramsey is not necessarily a sports person.
I think it's oil and gas study.
Yeah, he's studying oil and gas and law. right?
Sorry.
And oil and gas within the context of law. But that being said, I made a point to say definitely all of the answers to sports in this country does not repose in Charles Ramsey. You may got a couple ideas, but all is not reposed in Charles Ramsey. We gotta sit down, the people who are competent, and how do we move sports forward? We can keep sending people to games just for participation.
Yeah, I think the ministry,
knowing full well that we are not competing at that level
we
of
haven't
preparation.
invested in them
Right?
to get to that point.
You can't go there and fluke. Folks, you know, when I decided, because I love running, not professionally, recreationally, to do 65 miles from Georgetown till anything, you just wake up one day and say, I'm going to run that. You don't wake up one day and win a gold medal. Was 9 months of preparation to do 1 day and 65 miles. 9 months. I know how much miles I run in 9 months to do 65. I must run about 6,500 to do 65. But it's constantly chipping away at it, right? We got some one-off things. That's not success, right? A one song one is not success. Constantly churning out the hits. His preparation, meet opportunity, that's success. And over time, you see the body of work of somebody. That's success. We got to sit down together, Jericho. Or else we ain't doing nothing in this country.
That's true.
Put the best brains together, right? Don't tell me about sports for 5 years. That's good. Put you on side. Yeah, talk about sports for 5 years. But what does sports for 25 years look like in our country? How do you think Jamaica them get to where they get? You think you say, both get up one day and go run and become the world's best? It's years and years and years of practice, right? But we got to move beyond this level that we're at. It's nonsense we're doing. It is absolute nonsense we are doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree, Shad, 100% with that. And not the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports, as I've seen it over the last 2 years. If I'm to say one thing, I think they have defined themselves as sporting. You know, everything is a sport. You know, a sporting. You know, you have some big fete somewhere. You know, you're being called.
Fets
you're being
and drinking
on the stage with people promoting Mali and so forth. And that's the level of nonsense.
We gotta come together, folks. We gotta come together. But you know, some people only want to come together when they're leading, right? The PAP opted for a non-participation day one of the David Granger presidency. Day one, said we're not cooperating with them. Right, but now them boys in power is one Guyana. They just discover that. You can't operate like that. You can't. You can't. Right? And we got to think big, folks. We got to think beyond us. We got to think about how things going to impact with children. And both sides. Both sides. Flap all of y'all. It's a pack of nonsense we're doing. Think about the office of the leader of the opposition. An itinerary office. Anybody who come in, it's on South Road, it's on Crowell Street, it's on North Road. Why can't we say, you know what? We got a little money now. We can have a stable leader of the opposition office with some staff, with good resources, right? Nobody don't think they can end up in opposition, you know. People for 23 years and we never ever in opposition.
I think that's one of the most ridiculous
things. Right? Come out to yourself, the man.
As a country, we don't
come out to yourself, the man.
We don't have a building that says this is the building.
You don't want to give the leader of the opposition a vehicle. The first lady office spending more money than the leader of the opposition, right? The leader of the opposition office. Flap all of you. Pack of waste. We got to do things that can make a difference. Not for we friends, family, and favorites, but to 10 generations down the line. But we're not thinking like that. We're thinking for now. And that's why we're building all them roads that's blocking up.
Yeah, we have to do better, and I think that's why I love to have conversations with more progressive minds. And I say this without without apologies. You know,
no apologies.
I can identify persons from wherever. If you're not progressive in your thinking, then I don't want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, we
have to get to a point as a country in which we realize that there is no way in which that we will benefit as a country, that our optimal performance will never be met unless we sit around that table.
Those conjoined twins that we showed earlier, one doctor can't wake up and say, go and that's a team effort you're seeing there.
I'm sure if
you understand me? All of us are needed. One of the greatest long distance runner who ever lived, Eliud Kipchoge, my idol where long distance running is concerned. He says, all of me and he's the best we've ever produced as a world. Right? He says, all of me is 1% of the team. All of me, all my prowess, all my stamina and all that. You should see Elliot Kipchoge run. Would crawl his skin to see a man run so fast. He's doing under 7 miles, and he's running a marathon of 26 miles. Nobody thought it was possible for a human being to run 26-mile marathon in under 2 hours. Nobody's ever broken that barrier. In the history of the world, Elliot Kipchoge, running from Kenya, broke that barrier, I think twice recently, running at, I think, 1.59 something, right? Broke that barrier. He said, all of me is 1%, 1%, all of me is 1% of the team, right? We can do more together than we can do separately. And we're struggling to understand this, right? Chadi died in what? 95, born him in 92, 94. Is it? Am I right? 95.
I cannot remember.
When did Chedi die? I think it's 95. Born him in 85. And we're still struggling with some stuff we should have overcome. Right? We thought Jack Dio the young and we give you a chance. What do you do for we? Right? Here's your fun. We've seen the same movie all over again. We see the Jack Dio, Brahmachar. Now we've seen Irfan. We've seen this movie before, you know, and one of the most brightest fellow who ever lived, Einstein, he said, you know, it's madness, doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. The exact thing they did for 23 years for Isuko to come back and do the exact thing, and they expect a different result. The same thing they did for crime for 23 years. The day now, they want a different result. The same thing.
Ali said it's 97.
97.
Yes.
Thanks. 95 was the election. No, you're certain? Cherry didn't die in 97. 97, you had the election where Janet ran for president and was vitiated. Cherry would have been gone by then. Check it up for us. 94, 95, 96, 97. Double check it for us. 97 election was Janet Jagan. That was vitiated in...
It was 97. 6th of March,
All right.
1997.
All right.
I had to do that check
Thanks.
myself.
Good. He died. We're talking with the year. No, he died.
It's 97.
Right? And you listen to me. What kind of country we can hand over to we kids? Look,
We have.
let's go back.
It's a lot.
Well, I'm right now with the next thing on the brew, the country you hand over to the kids. Do you think you can take this one?
I don't want to.
Take this one. Take this one. Yes. I'm frightened because this other issue that's brewing and took over social media for the last 24 hours. You know, I when I listened to this story, I feel like I missed a whole part of my growing up, like a big chunk of it. I don't know, like I want to blame my mother in particular, my father and so on. Like I missed a big chunk. When I listen to what some young people are involved in, like I missed a big portion. And I thought I did a lot of foolishness, but
yeah, there's a lot.
Some folks up in the ante.
There's a lot of conversations to be had, you know, and folks that have been following, and we're referring specifically to allegations being levied against a social media personality, and I have and it's allegations, you know, as it is right
Serious?
now. Very serious
Allegations
being levied against this young man, and I didn't know the content of the allegations, and I have to say that when I listened to all that was said, one thing I have to address, you know, these are conversations that, you know, a lot of families, parents consider it taboo to speak to your children when it comes to things like sex and sexual, is your behavior patterns and all of things, the socialization that young people are having today, as opposed to what was had prior, and it's a big deal. It's a really big deal, and I think we have to get to a point in which we call these things out. You know, when all of that was said yesterday, you know, I had my daughter. I said my daughter's going to be 17 in December. My children are extremely sheltered. You know, some
of the things that we discussed in some leaked tapes we're hearing is young people drinking and parties and being drugged and being taken advantage of sexually. There's lots of that in these allegations.
But there's a lot of that. But then there's a lot of there's a lot that was said there also that goes to the heart of the whole thing. When did it become okay for young people to be just out drinking until they are unaware of themselves and all of these things? When are we going to start having these conversations as a society? When did it become hype and upbeat? When
And
did it
cute.
become the in thing
Cute.
for you to be
Cute.
out there getting drunk? And this is and
Yeah.
like I'm saying, you hear the allegations there, but you have to look at this matter holistically, right? And forget about that case in particular. Forget about what was said there. I am speaking about young people in
Clearly, there's a
general.
culture
Exactly.
of
that's the word.
revelry to the point, like you say, it's not a partying.
Yeah.
It's to the point where, because I know we talk a lot about partying and being responsible, and even if you know you're going to be inebriated, you're going to be drunk and so on, that there's somebody there in the crew that takes responsibility for the rest and say we can get you all home safe, what have you, here. But it seems to be an open field, and as Rita says, not only in this particular instance, there seems to be a lot of people who prey on a lot of people who are inebriated and
Well,
and so on.
again, I'm going to say I'm not even going to speak to this case because you know my position when it comes to anything to do with gender-based violence. And gender-based violence is not just physical violence. It could be physical violence. It could be sexual violence and all of those things. When it comes to, that's a different category. We have been speaking consistently program after program when it comes to our position on these things. Is very, very serious. We said that's a pandemic all by itself. Right?
Yeah.
So this is a bit of information from the allegations being levied here is pointed to that. And again, I think these matters needs to be dealt with at the level of the court, and whomever is guilty needs to be dealt with by the law. Because I, as a mother of two daughters, I'm going to tell you, I want my children to be able to have a space that is not just infiltrated with people that are of that nature. So let those matters be trashed out by the law and all that. But I think there's a bigger issue at play, and I think that's what I got from all that was said yesterday. The bigger issue is that we have, as a community, as a country, we have failed young people. I keep saying it, but we have to take stock of it. We have failed young people. It is our duty to pull in the reins. At times we have to pull in the reins. It's not okay to just have your children out and just doing whatever. It's not okay. My God, we have to have families need to come together, mothers, fathers. You have to set these examples. You have to do. It's not okay when it comes to sex. Let me just put it as blunt as that. Since when is it okay for people to be going around, sleeping around with multiple sexual partners? How is that hip and okay? How is it okay?
We perhaps came up, some of us, in a time when your parents they're not sex. You gotta learn it by yourself.
But that's my saying.
Right?
The topic was taboo.
Right?
And it still is to a very large
but
extent.
Not talking about it don't mean young people not involved in it.
Not talking,
right?
No. You're right, but I have a different way of putting it over. Not talking about it with your children doesn't mean that your children not talking about it.
Right?
Yeah.
So and involved. No, you're involved because in some of the stuff we heard in this recording is drinking, being inebriated, it's oral sex, it's threesome, it's foursome, it's all kinds of stuff. Our young people are involved in it. I saw one young woman wrote on Twitter that sometimes you're coerced to do things in such a way. You thought the idea originated with you. Is when you think back. It's when you think back, you realize, you know what? I didn't start off with this idea in my head, right? And it's a lot of stuff we got to really and truly engage our children on. Yes, you grew up a certain way, but now you're coming into information, and that's my foot in your hand there. Right, a lot of information. If you want to teach your children, somebody teaching them
peer
by default or otherwise.
I remember as a child, we were taught about things like peer pressure and all of those things. Those topics have somewhat gotten lost. Like when last you heard like schools when it comes to guidance, guidance was a literal subject we did in school. I have children in the school that's not there. I think they have something health and family life education that is trying to replace it. We have to be real. We have to understand.
But, no, I just wanted to hit at the other side of that. There's so much in what's happening with this Is it um, the Bruce issue? Is it Nkosi Bruce? That's the name.
I don't know his name. I'm going to be honest
And
with
it's
you.
a lot happening there because
I know his. I think
a lot of
his
the
estate.
underlying thing there. I heard a lot of drug use and pill popping and so on. Where's that coming from?
I am going to tell you where it's coming from. Listen,
Where the pills and so on
you
coming
know,
from?
I'm going to hold no apologies to what I'm saying right about now, but I'm telling you, like for example, there was this show this concert that was deemed the Botheration concert that had all the drama and all of that with
It was a
that.
good show,
Right
Chronicle.
now, and I want to say,
Mayhem aside,
I want to put it
it's
back
a good
because
show,
we're
Chronicle.
representatives of we're parliamentarians. At the end of the day, that's who we are.
But
I
we're more than that
found
too.
it.
We're mothers and fathers and
No,
uncles and
yeah,
brothers
well,
too.
wrapping all of that in together, I found it the most ridiculous. And this is something that we can't just forget about. I found it the most ridiculous for at a show of that nature. You heard when when the sponsors rather are being thanked, the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports is among that. Taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah.
Taxpayers'
You want to
dollars.
be popular.
I found it ridiculous
You want to
also
be popular.
that on that stage, persons were talking about popping Molly, right? How do you mesh these two things together? How do you mesh it together? Right? When you see what is going on, you have to understand why I have the issue that I have. And that's why I say that collectively we continue to fail young people. And let me just put this out there. I'm getting older every day. I have a daughter that's growing up. I was that age too. Young people make mistakes, but the part that we are seeing the level at which society has disintegrated when it comes to moral standards, especially when it comes to sex and the way in which it is just dealt with as anybody do whatever with whoever, however they want. It's not okay. Yeah. And I think that we are lacking. Where is the platform out there that go and promote, healthy living? Where is a platform that goes and promote? I am not boring, and let me say this in nuance. I am not bored. Listen, I have my partner, for example, and from the first day, and I could proudly say from the first day, my partner lay hands on me. Nobody else was ever allowed to come into my personal space. And that is something that I should be proud of. It doesn't make me less hip. It doesn't make me less.
My thing is not so much that as it is what adults consent to is their business. My issue is putting people in a place where they even if they say yes, they're not in the mental faculty to really consent. Even if they pass the age of 18, and that is how you mixing sex and popping pills and
we keep moving the
Molly
line.
and all of
Sharon,
that.
I hear you, but I think I hear you on that, but I have an issue with us keep moving the line down. We keep moving this line to accommodate, right? We can't do that. I mean, I have a little more stringent thinking. We cannot keep pushing the line back as to what is acceptable and what is not, because at some point in time the line is going to be non-existent. And that's what I talk about this thing so often. I mention it when it comes to sex, children's sex dolls being produced in China. Flip, no. Like,
no.
At what point,
I want to make a difference. I'm saying as an adult, as consenting adults, as long as whatever you're doing is not illegal.
Well, right? I am saying the same.
That's the point I'm making.
I get your point.
That's what I'm making.
I get your point. But my point is the same amount of advocacy that is put out when it comes to those positions. Where is the advocacy being pushed out against promoting a healthier lifestyle?
Those persons,
where's the advocate?
Those persons and those organizations have to advocate for themselves.
Good. That you're getting to where I'm coming.
That's my
problem. That's my problem. My problem is the advocacy, those bodies, and so that should be responsible for advocating for healthier lifestyles. And so because these things, reckless living, reckless lifestyle, come with tremendous consequences.
And that's precisely what's happening, Rita. There are folks, might not be an organization, might be an influence of some sort. They're advocating, whether you accept it or not, for what you might deem, what is the definition of it, for unhealthy lifestyles, all the pill popping and that kind of stuff, right? And the folks who think that they have to advocate for healthy living got to do that, right? But I am saying, I personally am not going to venture into what consenting adults, people who can think right? You're far over the age of 18.
You're talking about a crime now.
Right?
You're going to the crime.
That's where I'm going.
Yep.
I'm talking about these children, right? These children who drink and drunk and people drug, who don't know what the hell they're doing, right? And making decisions that can affect them later on. And I heard a fella put it in this way. He says, he was shaving in the bath with his son, who's always following him around. And his son took the shaving stick from him. He was very, very young, and he had to take it back from him, because what is going to be beneficial to him later on in his life, if he comes into it too early, right, it could be harmful. And you can appreciate that. You don't understand how, what daddy's doing, and you try to shave, you cut up your whole damn face, right? But when you're later on in life, you understand the proper use of the shaving stick. You operate. It can be beneficial to you, and that's the point I'm making. When two people who understand themselves, and you understand what sex is and so on, whether y'all want to do, that's your business. I'm not concerned about that. But Judy, you can look back, and you know that whatever you thought when you were 18, you didn't really know life. I thought I was ready for the world at 18.
But I also know that at that age, I thought I knew everything.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making.
I knew everything. I thought that I was the
That's the point I'm making. And then if you mix that now with drugs and rum and so, it's not a partying,
No,
right?
but
it's not a party.
But I'm not old. So when it comes to drugs, let me tell you, I went to school and I know children drinking and then partying and all of those things, and I know children using drugs and all of those things is when I was in school. The drugs not today, right? I have never touched drugs. I've never touched drugs ever. I've never gotten drunk.
Welcome.
Not once in my life. I drank probably in my entire adult life. I probably drank 3 beers, if so much, and that's collectively, sip on one, this bit or so forth, because and this is where parents come in, and I had this consistent moral guidance when it comes to my mother saying, you're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. These things are going to.
But we got a lot of work to do, because part and parcel of this is people who want a short route to success. And there's a lot of things we're managing now. A lot of these folks are like us, social media influencers and so on. And people want a fast track to success, and they don't know behind the successful man is 20 years of hard work and all of that. And a lot of young people chase popularity, right?
You're coming home, Sherry.
Doing certain things can make you popular. Right?
Not doing certain things alone, hanging out with a certain
That's
group.
what I'm saying. And being involved. Well, that's doing the hanging out. Gonna make you popular, right? And I always say to younger folks, that find something you're passionate about
and do it.
And do that, right? And drinking and drunking can't be something you're passionate about.
Yeah,
we can fight over that, and the popularity gonna follow. If you chase popularity, you can see your star rise quick and pitch just the same way. Because in the hours or the days now, because about 2 days since this thing is out there percolating, since all this Fetting King, that's his call. That's his what do you call that?
Yeah, I think that's the name.
That's his call name, as we say here. Fetting King, right? There's been a huge fallout because Mr. Bruce Fetting King hosted a program called Quarantine Catch-Up, the catch-up show on MAD 97.5 FM. And
that's where the name Catch-Up came from.
Right. And his co-host came out recently and made a statement. Young Brittany Roberts came out and made a statement recently. And she has said it in light of everything you guys are seeing and hearing. Please be aware that I'm no longer associated with the catch-up, quarantine catch-up, this is the catch-up show, or Nkosi Bruce. She's come out and say that. And again, I want to underscore all that we're seeing here, that there are serious allegations. And in this judicial system that we have, every man is presumed innocent until proven guilty by a competent court. And so she has come out and she has said that that radio station there, that show is hosted, and also have come out with a statement. They have said that we are no longer associated with the above mentioned individual, which is Mr. Nkosi Bruce, and we have effective immediately prohibited the airing of said program on 95.1 FM frequency, Facebook, or any other affiliated radio streaming platform. This is Mad FM. They said this just yesterday. This is some of the fallout that coming out of that. And in addition to that, apparently Mr. Nkosi Bruce is also affiliated with Rumfest. And they have very quickly as well come out and put out a statement on his involvement with them as well. And they have said that they have made the decision to remove Mr. Nkosi Bruce from all Guyana Rum Festival activities with immediate effect. The alleged behavior does not align with our core values, and as such, neither the committee members nor the festival itself will continue to be associated with Mr. Bruce. That is some of the fallout over this sex, drugs, and lies fiasco that's gripping some segments of social media.
I have to say with those statements, you know, it's a good sign to see those forums, those bodies, you know, actually saying that they are not. That they take a stand against.
It'll be interesting though to see who knew what when.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because
Well,
when you listen to the tapes, a lot of people seem to have known exactly what was going on, but somebody say, you know what? Flap it.
But you really have to question. You really have to question who are really your friends and how and your circle all together. I think those are very important things you have to learn. You know, people that actually watch out for you and got your back and all of those things. You do at some point in time, you have to really do an assessment of your circle. Right? And it's okay to have small circles. I think my circle almost non-existent.
That being said. It's a small circle. That being said, you know, in all things that are happening, you know, and again on that and the Nkosi Bruce story, we all presume innocent in this country. They're proven guilty by a competent court. There's that happening, and again we say those are very strong allegations that have been made, and organizations and individuals have clearly taken a stand.
Correct. And I have, if I'm to have a final word on this matter, I have to say that we understand as a young woman, I understand the pressures out there when it comes to the way in which young people associate and the various activities or lack thereof that is there for them to actually engage in. But I have to say that I have, and I always say this, but no matter what is happening with young people, especially when it comes to victims of these situations, you know, there is always brighter tomorrow. You know, don't be sucked into it. A lot of times people go ahead and they go with all the social media thing and they don't understand how much it would affect the affected individuals further. And I have to say that, you know, you just have to stay strong. There's a brighter tomorrow. Once you have life in your body, you go forward and you make a difference in your life. So I have faith in all of you to go forward and make a good name for yourselves. And once these allegations are true, then someone needs to be punished by law.
That being said, folks, some of the other stuff we are following this morning, what they said, you know, and this one I think was quite funny because the nonsense I hear coming from Peeping Tom, right? And sometimes I know exactly who's writing which one of the Peeping Tom columns.
Oh, you know.
Right? Sometimes the nonsense I hear coming from Peeping Tom, but this one was pretty interesting. So, of course, Article 13 come out and say PP corrupt and so on.
Oh,
and Peeping Tom come out swinging at Article 13. He who asserts must first prove, quoting all the Latin and so on. Well, flap you, Peeping Tom. Article 13, a civil society grouping, is accusing the PVC of corruption. According to reports in other sections of the media, Article 13 is alleging that the PVP had accepted help from all and sundry, and upon assuming office, had moved to reward those who helped it. The group is also alleged to have said that such reward took the form of plum appointments, steering contracts in a particular direction. And they say, this is not corruption. Yes, it's corruption if you put people in certain posts because you want certain outcomes, like TIGI, right? It's corruption because you want to skew the thing, right? But what really upset me with Peeping Tom, This is the same people, Tom, who saying, hey, he who first, he who asserts must first prove. Every other column in people, Tom is talking about Apnu FC rig. Same people, Tom,
He who asserts
must prove.
Got that?
But you see, when they talk a mash and their friend talk a mash, then they come out swinging. Same people, Tom. Right? He who asserts must prove. You don't know that, they don't know these principles when they are certain. Right? 2 years you got cases in the court in this country with election fraud and so on. 2 years, and then people say they got truckload evidence, and 2 years those cases languishing in the court. Not one conviction for 2 years. Wow. They're proving that, Freddie Kissoon and Pippin Tam and Freddie Kissoon. Yeah. Every other column, Apnu AFC, rigged. But he who asserts must prove.
Probably needs to start by sending that bit of advice over to the PVP. That every single
send it
time
to Freddie, and then Freddie send it back to he. Right? He who asserts must prove. The hypocrisy of Pippin Town.
You know who wrote
Pippin Town is a hypocrite.
Sure, you know who wrote that one.
The person who writes is a hypocrite.
I think you speak it as though you know who wrote that one.
Hypocrites.
Yes.
Pippin Town. Hypocrite. He who asserts must prove. But when you all asserting all your nonsense,
they don't have to prove.
You don't have to prove nothing. Asserting your nonsense about AFC, nonsense about the PNCR, about the leader of the opposition, Mr. Norton, a whole pack of nonsense. You don't prove it though. But when your friend Toge Mash is a corrupt government, he asserts must prove. Hypocrites. Wait a whole morning to say that wasn't the Bruce story for me. Was that one? Hypocrites. Hypocrites.
I know twist.
Right? A whole set of assertion. That's how you got, Gary Greenish got the thing.
While that is happening, the PV administration is fighting to make sure that the petitions don't see the light of day.
Right? I was coming there.
You go.
And every day outside, he said it to the PV, every day outside saying, Apnu AFC rig. Right? And the petitions would prove who rigged. And then by fighting the petitions in the court, right? But people in time I know for right and say, Anil, they got Latin phrase, he who has trust must prove. You can prove this thing, And why are we talking about proving? Some of us, we memory short. They had a case, the Holidar case. Anil driver, who was his family? His friend's family favorites oversaw.
Okay.
Brought a case against Mingo for some fancy thing like that.
Yeah.
Right? Saying that he rigged. And again, Chief Justice Wilshire.
Waste your time case.
Chief Justice asked him, she said several times.
You sure you got the evidence?
You're sure you got the evidence? Because some of this stuff got to be proved in election petition. Right? Rigging is proved through an election petition. He said, you got the evidence.
Going through.
She said, you sure, Anil? I know you haven't nothing since you are coming. You sure? He said, yes, Your Honor. Or reverence. Your worship. My lady. Yes, I got it. One day before she was to hand down her judgment. Right? You can imagine, Chief Justice is a busy woman. Having to write those judgments, read all them cases. Right? And then you look at the Constitution and say, this is the law. One day, he withdraw the case. Why he withdraw the case? Oh, Jesus. Sweet to tell him. Tell him for me. Why he withdraw the case?
Because he who was sorted had no proof.
Had no proof. Right? And that is the case. This whole election swinging on, that is out of that case.
It's what the petition.
The other one who swing. Yeah, remember she? Right? She had given the court an undertaking to go and reconk something. Is out of that case. She said she didn't want to be held in contempt of court. Nobody ever actually let me know. She rather give an undertaking to the court in that case.
But the Chief Justice was not happy about that at all.
Not happy about it. She said he wasted the time of the court. That's what she reported to say. It was iNews or newsroom carrier. You've wasted the time of the court. But you wasted the state's time now, every case. wasting the time of the court. You said you had the evidence. I asked you several times. You said yes. And now about to hand down the judgment, you withdraw it. But that's what it's doing now. When they know they're about to lose, it's either they try to stall, right? Which is what they did yesterday.
Yeah.
Stalling, or they withdraw the case.
Yeah.
Right? He who asserts must prove. Must send it to Anil and Jagdew and Irfan. Because Article 13 come out and say they're corrupt. Now, oh God, oh Father, Article 13, dash Guyana for sale in the chest. You know? Dash in the chest. You got any right-minded person could watch that. Watch the interview with Isabel Young and say, I ain't seen nothing here. I ain't seen nothing here. When Isabel Young showed the name Sue Jarang in the chest, he still trying to catch himself, you know, months now. Right? He gone to the States trying to recover Jarang from the bell that Isabel Young, see, Bell is her last name, you know, it's a powerful woman. Throwing his chest, he's still trying to recover from that.
Sure?
And he probably never will.
I think we need. I think.
And here's these hypocrites.
A missing person.
Peeping Tom.
Needs to go
hypocrites. Talking about he who asserts must prove. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. Look.
That won't hurt you, Sharon.
Right?
It upset you.
From that, now we go over to finally. I think that's it for the day. We were going to touch on black belly sheep.
Oh goodness.
This is the hottest thing since sliced bread in this country. Black belly sheep, right? The only time you see ministers accumulate and assemble like this is when they get fire. You don't see them in one place like this. When they come out, you see them goats. You know, they come out, you see family.
The sheep.
Right?
Did you just say goat?
Yeah, sorry.
So,
I wanted to make the point, but they come out, right? For see the goats, the sheep, black belly sheep, whatever it is, the animal. It's full animal farm, you know. So, folks, we just got the first installment of the black belly sheep. They arrived from Barbados, you know. These sheep fly more than we should. This is wrong. When sheep flying for summer or sailing for summer, we just stay stationary. Something is wrong about that. And Mustafa and them boys went out to see the arrival of these black belly sheep.
Yes, you got it right.
The black belly sheep. Right? And again, if you all have been following, you know, at the Agri Expo and Foreman Expo recently, these sheep came up for conversation. These now infamous black belly sheep. They tried to bring down the cost of food import in the Caribbean. This 25 by 25, bring down the imports by 25% by 2025. Right? Now, this is a tall order. But some of the things that came out of this, some of what we as a country have said we're going to do to help bring down this thing, right? They're going to look to do some brackish water shrimp cultivation. They want boost production. A lot of money they're investing there. Pacific white leg shrimp, right? They wanna do some of this. Shrimp research and development. A lot of shrimp business here, right? Of course, y'all know shrimps is them little fine ones, right? When you see someone treat a younger photograph, she was a shrimp, you know. She was a shrimps. Now she's a shrimp.
Yeah, the iPad.
She's a shrimp now. Shrimp is the coarse fat one. So the shrimps. Now she's a shrimp. And then they're looking at poultry production. They want to go and do some corn and soya bean production, vegetable production. And we've stated all the matrices there. Rice production, well, no, folks, this here is aspirational. And then the sheep production, the back belly sheep and so on. Aspirational.
All right. So
yeah.
Start going through all of those things, and again we have to go back to the point. And when it comes to that particular one with the black belly sheep, and I do, during the Agri Expo and so forth, that was one of the announcements that you heard coming out there. And you said, God, you know, Mia did her bit, and Mia went back, and Mia made sure that her NS has been tied up. All right, so that's Mia
sheep will be growing here in our lands.
Her N has been tied up. Now, when it comes to how our N has been tied up, that again, you know, you have to be digging deep. You know, you gotta get a special investigation to see how it will be done on the ground. You know, and what mechanisms are put in place for us to actually move forward with this set that has come in right now, and so that the money is just now wasted. you persons you don't know, but so I have to tell you, like prior to 2015, the PPP administration always have, when it comes to agriculture project, they would send into various areas of because they never had an effective, sustainable program
Yeah.
laid
Yeah.
out.
Never.
It never gets to the light of day, and that's what you
Never.
have to. And it's all good and nice to say that you're going to move rice production from this to that, but when you go and you look
Yeah.
at the actual numbers coming out of the reports, you realize that they're not going up; they're going down. So
Yeah.
it begs the question of what mechanisms have been put in place to
None.
make sure that go
None.
forward. And that's
None.
it's
None.
all nice and
I think it was
easy.
72. Forbes Burnham had the food, cloud and housing nation coherent plan.
So it's interesting
Right?
that you said that, because with that bit, it's only this morning. My mother's up and about since 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's always so she sent me that specific headline, and she said, "Born on brainchild, Caribbean working together and reducing on international imports." Right?
Yeah. Food,
But,
clothes, and housing nation. And
yeah.
I know this one gonna make like your skin start itching now, and the other guy. Leon Govardhan is getting starts catching now. They're about to self-combust, right? Food, clothes, and house the nation plan. The PPP in a watered down version had buy local. That was that was their thing.
But they
right?
have a lot.
You know they've abandoned that now.
They have a lot of substandard documentations. Like, and then one of the things that I know we're going to hear a lot about this, I guess, pretty soon in coming days. And so, when it comes to their low carbon development strategy, for example, it was good at an infinite state, but then there was nothing built on it when it comes to longevity and the actual sustainability aspect about it.
I think what is money, man.
That's
money.
all that they look at. That's all
money,
that they look at.
Money. It's not about the actual, because if they are true environmentalists, right? What they did to the mangroves here, right? Some of what you see them doing, they know that can't hold no water there.
Yeah.
Right? Some of these things they're doing, these are the people who exempting, radioactive companies, radioactive waste from EIA's environmental impact assessment. Companies want to build a radioactive waste treatment plant on these banks. So you don't need any environmental impact.
Got to go.
Yeah. These people come and tell me now about LCDS, low carbon and so on. Give us a break. Give us a break. They want suck cane and blow whistle at the same time. Right? You want pump out everything from the earth, pump all the oil out, and then you want to talk about going green all at the same time. Come on, man. Right? You hot and cold all at the same time. Right? I don't understand how you can do that. Pick a struggle. Pick a struggle. We want guys sick or we don't want it. Jack, you want to close it down? If I want to open it. Pick a struggle. Right? Billions later, what do we have to show for it? Right? 2 years of agriculture under Mustafa. What do we have to show for it? Black belly sheep from Barbados. Right? At least you get something, because we get promised some catfish and so on. Right? And we know how that went. Still waiting. But
that's why I said, Barbados has tied up their end, so
of course,
their part has
me working for people.
That's my point.
Right? So come and grow sheep here. You got a lot of land, you know how to do it. I got some sheep I need grazing. Right? I got some young people that need farming land. And we'll be there. People waiting, got to wait whole day, 24 hours at the stadium.
But the thing is,
park up
if they only...
them Barbadians having a line.
I just want
and the sheep grazing here.
my last bit of comment on this.
Yeah, please don't teach the people sheep though. I'm begging you. Don't embarrass me.
The last bit of comment that I'll give on this particular matter is that we have the ability and we have the capacity to actually move in a good direction with this when it comes to the people. But the problem will always be that when you see the black belly sheep come and so forth now, instead of giving the actual farmers and people that know to do these things, the corruption in the process of who actually is in charge of it, it always goes to somebody political, some friend, family, somebody.
You can see black belly sheep cropping up all over the place, and then I'm going to say, I import this separately, wasn't me a sheep. We always have black belly sheep here.
But I'm hoping that the money doesn't go to waste. In all fairness, I'm hoping that the money doesn't go to waste. And that
please don't thief the people's sheep. Don't embarrass us. Don't thief the people's sheep. Please. Right? All right. Thank you all. Things tight and so on, but.
Yep. But that's our time this
Right?
morning.
I would hate to see Mayor go to the UN and the national stage say, see them people in the other there? We sent some black belly sheep. Can't find them. Can't find them. The last time we saw them, they were a truck. The belly said, we can try a little crease at the black belly sheep at the wharf. Since then.
And then mutton curry
Yeah.
competitions.
I remember we is the government who couldn't find the dead people on the boat, no engine, moving 2 nautical miles in a westerly direction, heading someplace. Couldn't find the boat.
If it's done,
Right? Being manned by dead people. So I think we can find these sheep, right? So please, I'm begging y'all. All the done stuff. Let the people sheep alone. Please, I beg it. For myself and country.
Correct.
Yep.
So guys,
Yep.
thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure. Mr. Duncan,
Last show for the weekend.
Is there anything else that you need?
Monday's a holiday. It's a long... The hypocrites. Hypocrite. People job. He was Startsman's proof. Hypocrite. And then tomorrow he's going to write after FC rig, you know. Not a shred of evidence. Hypocrite. Right? And if he backs 2 pages up and see Freddie, after FC rig, attempted rigging, with the evidence. Huh?
He will start.
Yeah. Hypocrite.
Must first prove.
Right? Felix Kessoon is a hypocrite and People Jam is a hypocrite.
Yeah, Sharon has
Yeah.
failure.
Let's go off like this for the weekend. Fighting for.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's the weekend.
FYI,
We're not going to be back until Monday.
Yeah.
So
Monday's
make
a
sure
holiday?
that you... Is that? I don't
It's a
think
long
so.
time we had a holiday.
Okay, yeah, that's a boat
It's a little
holiday.
while. It's a little while.
Oh, but we're going to see
Right?
you back on Monday.
Yeah.
We have
National Day
lot
of
to
the Black
discuss.
Belly Sheep.
We have a lot.
August 4th. National Day of the Black Belly Sheep.
I know that's how they
Yeah.
do it. Everything is a holiday. So.
Yeah.
Run
Have a
late.
great
Thank you for
weekend,
coming
folks.
through.
Have a great weekend, you know. Pull back a little bit, get in touch with yourself. Right? Y'all watch the alcohol. Y'all cheering going out this weekend. Tell them rest a little bit.
Lyndon Jones, the Black Belly Sheep is always here.
Yeah.
So so this is something I don't know much about that particular
Breed and
bit
species.
of agriculture. Yeah.
Mm.
That's not my area. I don't want to pretend to know.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Yeah.
So
Or maybe you're just priming things. So when you see sheep by you, you ask the black belly
I
sheep.
can assure you, you're not gonna say sheep by me.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't want no sheep.
Poor people governor.
Stop,
Good morning,
nothing
sir.
like that.
Donna David and all the other guys. Penelope Howard. Share the live for us. Smash that emoji button and partner with us too, folks. Partner with us. Unfortunately, we're running out of water. Unfortunately. And we're going to keep them by the black belly sheep neither. That's why we trust that you. We thank you guys for your love and your support. We feel it, and your prayers too. Your prayers too.
Yeah.
You know, your prayers too.
Yeah. Guys, be safe out there. It's a weekend. You know, a lot of person want to go out and just have a good time, relax a little bit, ease your mind from the stressors of life altogether.
Yeah.
Just be safe. You know, young people going out there, be safe. Make sure that you know your company. Make sure you go out in a crowd that is a good crowd. And you have to just begin to trust your instincts, you know.
Sometimes you just need to stay home a little bit too.
Well, it's true, you know.
Everything come knock you one day. Stay home a little bit now, man.
Trust your instincts. You know,
Take a rest.
that
Take a
little
rest.
voice that says, you know, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't
Take a
go there.
rest.
Just begin to start listening to that little voice. We have a long way to go, but we have to come through for everyone and make sure that that our country that there are safe environments, there are safe spaces for young people to have a social life without having to worry about all the craziness that is going on right about now. So again, thank you for joining us.
It's like
Duncan.
It's like driving theory and practice. When in doubt, pull back.
Yeah.
That's that little voice. When in doubt, pull back.
Yeah.
Right? I ain't say pull out, pull back.
Pull back.
Right? Pull back. Again, we're gonna be tracking the opening of Andrew Supermarket on the 12th. And we're gonna bring in some more information on that to you because we want you to get the best. In these trying times, we're tracking the prices and so on. And as a lot of folks said in the comments, these guys don't have stable prices.
Yes.
You know, we're tracking it.
So we're going to check. We're going to do some comparing and contrasting as to when it comes to food items, basic food items, and see how it is at Andrew's. You know.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
More times. See you guys on the podcast and back in your ring at 8. And we're going to see you guys on Monday from this end. That's our time.
Have a good day, guys. A good weekend.